December 7th, 1941. It is 7:55 a.m. at Wheeler Army Airfield, Oahu. The morning air is thick with the smell of pineapple and salt water. A moment of absolute peace. Then the sky rips open. 23-year-old Second Lieutenant Philip Rasmussen is jolted from his bunk, not by an alarm clock, but by the shattering of glass. He stumbles to the window, dressed in a pair of purple pajamas, and stares straight into the apocalypse. A Japanese plane, its red meatball insignia blazing, screams past at treetop level. Behind it, the entire flight line, America's first line of defense in the Pacific, is a junkyard of burning aircraft. This is not a drill. This is the image we all know. The neatly parked planes, wingtip to wingtip, a perfect target for an enemy that achieved total, catastrophic surprise.
Retreat!
But for
The
Rasmussen,
barracks are lost!
this wasn't
Hurry,
history.
move out!
It was a 30-second walk into hell. The sound of strafing bullets impacting dirt and steel.
Keep
Chaos
moving!
reigns. Men are running from the barracks,
Incoming!
only to be
Get
cut down by strafing fire. The P-40 Warhawks, the shark's-toothed killers of the sky, are burning where they sit. The air is a toxic cocktail of cordite, gasoline, and pulverized concrete. The attack is a masterpiece. The defense is non-existent. But in this moment of total paralysis, something else takes over Rasmussen. It's not courage. It's not training. It is pure, unadulterated pilot's instinct. He has one thought, a thought so insane it borders on suicidal. He has to get a plane in the air. He has to fight. He sprints from the barracks, still in his pajamas, dodging explosions. He's not running from the fight. He's running to it. The sound of his own desperate breathing. The flight line is a vision of tactical failure. The planes had been moved to the center of the field, aligned in perfect rows to protect them from sabotage. It was a peacetime decision in a wartime reality. And now, they were paying the price. A bomber's dream. A fighter pilot's nightmare. Rasmussen races past the burning skeletons of P-40. He sees a P-36, an older model, miraculously untouched by the first wave. It's not his assigned plane. He doesn't care. He
Open
finds
the
a crew
canopy!
chief,
Open it
gets the
now!
engine started. The canopy is
We
stuck.
don't have much time!
No time. He will fly without it. The roar of a single engine spinning to life amidst the inferno. As he
have to go!
taxis, another
Eject!
pilot leaps onto the wing, pleading to come with him. There's no room. Rasmussen can only shake his head. It's a solo mission. At 8:02 a.m., joined by 3 other pilots who had scrambled into their own P-36, Rasmussen takes off, directly into the second wave of the Japanese attack. 4 planes. 4 American planes against a sky black with zeros and vowels. The tactical failure on the ground was now a tactical impossibility in the air. A brief, terrifying silence. The click of arming guns. The 4 P-36 claw for altitude. They are immediately met by a swarm. At least a dozen Japanese planes, Zeros, and Val dive bombers turn on them as one. The sky is a hornet's nest. Rasmussen's wingman, Lieutenant Sanders, is hit almost instantly. His plane explodes in a spray of fire and fragments. The sudden, stark silence of one less engine. Then there were 3. Rasmussen shoves his stick forward, diving into the attack over Kaneohe Bay. He is still in his pajamas. The wind is tearing at his face because his canopy is stuck open. This is not a dogfight. This is a brawl. There are no tactics, no formations, just a desperate, swirling melee where the only goal is to survive the next 5 seconds. Rasmussen sights a Japanese plane, a Valdive bomber, pulling out of its run. He lines it up. His hands are rock steady. He squeezes the trigger. The glorious, deafening chatter of his .30 and .50 caliber guns. Tracers spark across the Val's fuselage. He watches smoke pour from its engine, and the plane lurches, beginning its final spiraling dive into the ocean. 1 kill, confirmed. There is no time to celebrate. The sky erupts behind him. 2 Mitsubishi Zeros are on his tail. Their 20mm cannons find his P-36 instantly. The instrument panel explodes. Shrapnel rips through his left leg. The canopy, which had been stuck open, is blasted into oblivion. His plane is systematically deconstructed around him. Cannon shells sever his rudder cables. No control. They shred his tail wheel. No landing. They rupture his hydraulic lines and no brakes. His solution to this impossible fight was not technical. It was the sheer, stubborn, human refusal to die. He was no longer flying a plane. He was riding a piece of perforated metal. The overwhelming scream of wind whistling through hundreds of bullet holes. He looks back. He can see the Japanese pilot in the Zero behind him. So close he can make out his goggles. The enemy pilot, seeing the catastrophic damage, the shredded tail, the non-existent canopy, assumes Rasmussen is a dead man.
Look
The
out,
Zeros,
bandits, it's 6 o'clock!
their work
They're
seemingly
diving!
done, peel off to find new targets. But Philip Rasmussen is not dead. He is, however, in a plane that has no right to be in the air. He is bleeding. He has no rudder. He has no radio. He has no canopy. But he has the engine, and he has the trim tabs. He is a pilot. He finds a way. Instead of using foot pedals to steer, he delicately works the elevator and aileron trim tabs. Tiny adjustments, just to keep the nose pointed toward Wheeler Field. He isn't flying the plane. He is negotiating, coaxing a 500 hole sieve through the air by sheer force of will. A low, agonizing groan of stressed metal. He descends toward the burning airfield, his home. He has no brakes. He has no tail wheel. This landing will be a controlled crash. He lines it up and prepares for impact. He hits the runway hard. With no tail wheel, the P-36 slews sideways, metal grinding against asphalt. With no brakes, there is only one way to stop, a controlled ground loop. He yanks the stick, throwing the plane into a violent skid, the agonizing shriek of tearing aluminum. The plane finally screeches to a halt, surrounded by the burning wreckage of the flight line. Silence. For a full 30 seconds, nothing moves. The ground crews who had been taking cover in ditches slowly emerge. They stare at the airplane, which looks less like a machine and more like a piece of shredded tin foil. It is riddled with holes. The tail is barely attached. The canopy is gone. The crew chief, staring in disbelief, reportedly said, "My God, Lieutenant, we counted. There are over 500 bullet and cannon holes in this plane." A low, stunned whistle from a ground crewman. And then the cockpit stirs. The ghost climbs out. It is Philip Rasmussen, still wearing his purple pajamas, now stained with blood and hydraulic fluid. He didn't just fly through the attack. He had defeated it, bringing back a plane that had no right to exist. He was awarded the Purple Heart for the wounds he sustained, and the Silver Star for his gallantry. But his real legacy was quieter. It was the profound, unspoken message he sent in the first 10 minutes of the war that even in the face of total annihilation, American pilots would get up, get in the air, and fight back. He would go on to fly missions across the Pacific, a quiet hero forged in the fires of Pearl Harbor. A solemn, reflective pause. Soft, respectful music begins to swell. If this story of impossible courage moved you, hit that like button. Help us rescue these forgotten stories from the pages of history. The first act of American aerial defiance in World War II wasn't a complex plan drawn up by generals. It wasn't a new piece of technology or a secret weapon. It was the raw, defiant instinct of one man, in his pajamas, who looked at a sky full of enemies and chose to fly straight into it,